Okay, so well, I'll first hand it over to Alex. I was just curious because I wasn't able to listen in, but I always like his teachings, his trainings. Alex.
Hey, can you hear me? Yeah. Well, as I told you in the email, Alba Danés will be with us today with Erica. Alba works as a communicator for Resilience Earth, as I do, but she is specialized in communication for social transformation, and she's also specialized in artistic photography and digital marketing. I'm sure that she's going to help us a lot on how to find the identity of our projects and how to communicate that identity in our social networks. And let me share you one video. Yeah, share sounds. Okay. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay.
Hi and welcome. You are now entering the identity naming dimension of WeLand. Here, you will explore the potential of your community's culture and inquire what your community wishes to become. It's important to make the difference between wishes and aspirations versus whims and ideologies. A wish or aspiration is something almost physical that we can sense in our bodies. Once known and clear, it can become a feeling of hope that can be as strong as love. In this dimension, the potential of a living being, a community, emerges from the relationship between who we are and what we may become. We often meet resistance in this identity naming process. The culture and structure of our society does not make space for everyone to be accountable. An accountable community is necessary for community emancipation, where people have the information and experience they need to make decisions. However, an emancipated community is not a submissive community and can therefore face resistance when engaging in identity naming. An identity naming process can be blocked or limited by social structures and cultures when our will and our potential are defined solely through operative goals or long-term visions. These are both ways to avoid connecting with what we may become, our potential, which is an internal force that can be daunting. For example, imagine a canary that has spent all its life in a cage. When we open the door, it just stays there, blocked by the fear of freedom. Or imagine a plant growing in a pot, with its roots trying to go as deep as possible, looking for water, but which end up going around and around, generating a huge knot. If we put that plant in the ground, it will likely just stay in the same shape as the pot, incapable of regenerating itself without someone pulling apart the roots and showing them that they can grow in other directions. How can we regenerate our will and our potential? How can we become proud, free birds flying in the sky rather than canaries in a cage? How can we be a wild, diverse, abundant forest instead of an agricultural field? It's important to belong to a place and to a community. This does not mean that we need to spend our whole life in the same town, but rather that we can live any place or community from an intimate perspective, with respect and curiosity. In this dimension, we invite you to recall the prior dimensions of landscape integrity and co-sensing, all about how you perceive landscape and who makes up landscape. From there, we can develop an image of the potential of your community's culture. In other words, what the will is that emerges from the relationship between community and landscape to express itself. This can become a decolonizing process through which our cultures can become an intricate matrix of many diverse singular cultures engaged in a reciprocal relationship of intercultural dialogue. But to generate a deep dialogue, it's important to learn how to sense ourselves, how to sense the community as a whole, and how to sense place. For this reason, we propose that you be aware of how you feel while you are working in this dimension. You can do so by connecting with your inner feelings and relating them to what's happening in the group. This personal process is key to understanding and connecting with the collective process. Once we connect with the collective process, we will be capable of understanding what's emerging and therefore image what its potential is. This will allow us to see the ways our culture is expressing its potential, or also how structural violence or colonization are blocking the process. From here, we can identify leverage points for cultural regeneration and bring about the relationships that are willing to emerge between landscape and community. In a process like this, it's common to have insights into the collective intelligence, which can help us understand how we can best be at the service of the community and the landscape itself. For example, by expressing ourselves as individuals and our culture as a collective in a coherent and dynamic equilibrium. The pattern that brings consistency to the system is the identity of place. Naming it brings a sense of belonging and rootedness. Our identity defines us not for what makes us different, but for what makes us singular. And this singularity is a gift that we can offer to others.
Thank you. All right. So maybe Alba, with your permission, I'll just make a little bridge. So actually you were doing identity naming already, but we didn't want to say it as such with Cesar last week. Okay, so this is kind of like a bridge between that kind of internal reflective process of, you know, dreamland and reality. So the different types of realities, and really not trying not to lose sight of that when we're doing the work that we do. So today we're going to be doing identity naming, but at a different level. That's more the consensed reality level that that Cesar was talking about. Yeah. So today, actually the focus, well, it's on identity naming, but it's on identity naming once we've done that deep dive into what's really going on in our communities, what is, where are the tensions, where are the hopes, where is that emerging direction? So today we have Alba, who's been leading the area of communication for social and ecological transformation. And she is very singular to speak of identity naming and singularity. So we're very lucky to have her here. And just to, maybe Alba, you'll explain the agenda, and then we can go from there.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here today. It's been a long listening. Oh, the community catalyst training is going so well. So now I find you, and I'm so glad. Some faces that I already know, and it's nice also, and a lot of new faces. So first of all, sorry for my English. I'll try to speak very slowly as everybody can follow me, but please, if I say something that you don't understand, just stop me, okay? Or ask Alex to translate it. So yes, for today we have an agenda. I don't know if everybody have the link to the mural, but you can start opening it because we are going to work today with the mural. We are not in an analogic way today, but who knows, we are going to make something special too.
You have the, sorry Alba, you have the link on the chat.
Perfect. So everybody can go to mural if you want, if you can. So today we started with that super nice video. Thank you for telling that it is nice, because it is super nice. And we are going to start with the pentat. Erica is going to explain us how to walk around methodology or theoretical mark, let's say, to find our potential and our identity naming. Then we are going to, today we are going to have a session with a lot of analysis, let's say, or we said deconstruction of, in that case, campaigns. We are going to deconstruct campaigns, real campaigns. So we are going to stay for a long with the external communication space. You see the external campaigns that our projects can do. So we are going to analyze a lot of that. And we are going to do it with the tools we already have, like Iceberg, and also this new tool that we are going to learn today. Then we are going to step on the communication for social change or transformative communication. And finally, we are going to work on a canvas that will guide us to create our own campaign. So let's imagine with which homework we will propose to you. It will be to create your own campaign. Okay, that will be the last part of today's session. So, Erica, you want to start?
Sure, I might share the screen just so you can see where my cursor is pointing to. So just a second. All right. So we'll be on slide 32 if you want to just also you could follow on the other one. But so this is a tool called the Pentad, and it is to identify potential, especially potential development through leverage points. This is a really, really, really versatile tool. And in fact, you know, we've done classes on this that have lasted, you know, 8 hours, because you can apply it to project design, like how to identify potential for projects, identify potential for your personal journeys, identify potential for collectives. And this is an example that we're going to use it today for identifying the potential of a communication campaign that's focused on changing socially and environmentally. So really like touching those leverage points. So you start where these red dots here, these 3 red dots, at purpose. And the first question is always, so what is the purpose of, you know, of yourself, of your organization, or of the situation that you're trying to transform? Okay, this is a tool. We just wanted to introduce it because we've been applying it to communication campaigns, and it's been so helpful for story of place. We already discussed story of place, I believe, in the 2nd session of this class, of this course, where we had the different questions around or from origin to legacy. And this is a nice complementary tool. And we usually select either one or the other, depending on what kind of story we want to tell, or what kind of narrative do we want to tell. Okay, which of course narratives are so helpful for communication campaigns. Okay, so we first go connecting with purpose, just having people, if this were in a group, what we do actually is it can be really fun. We put kind of like 5 stations around a room and white flip chart paper, or lots of Post-its, and people just throw in their ideas of, you know, what is purpose, and they'll map it all out, and then we find patterns, outliers always. So really trying to like build in that pattern language thinking, systemic thinking, what's related, what connects. And then we go to the next question. I'm wondering, I think somebody is maybe on, not on mute. Okay, yeah, it's quiet now. Okay, so and then once people have identified what the purpose is, so of the campaign in this case, then we say, okay, so what makes or if the campaign is about a community, which is the example we're going to share, what makes that community unique? What is its singularity? You know, and then here what we're pulling out is those elements of identity that really speak to the whole collective. You know, what are the things that unite them? And then we go into mastery, and this is talking a lot about service. Okay, so if you're here and in purpose, and the path you're going towards singularity is actually the path of identity. When you're going towards mastery, this is the path of vocation. Sorry, vocation being like not just your job, but your passion. Like that, your job is part of an integral part of your life because it's of service. Okay, so how the question here then is about services. How can your community, in this case, be of service to the greater whole, maybe to the region, maybe to the land and the region, maybe to a certain community that's larger than that, a cultural community. So from here, you take the path of, well, it's the imperative path, but it's also operational. So how do you put that into action, right? It's an actionable path. And here you go to operativity. So what are the things you need to be a master, you know, to really shine in your uniqueness, to accentuate your purpose, right? So here, usually people are like, oh, we need money, or we need some kind of resources. We need people, we need time, things like that. And it's just so important to map that out. Okay, if this is what we need, then it'll be easier for us to design a plan or a project that takes that into consideration. And then you go on the path of objectives that help us identify the emerging potential. And here's where we can, it's like kind of the iceberg going further down. It's we're able to identify potential and leverage points. So here it's, what are the capabilities do you need to cultivate in order to be of service, right? If you already have all of your basic operative needs met. Okay, so you're imagining that this has all been fulfilled. You're aware of your purpose. You know what makes yourself, your group unique. You know why and how you want to be of service. You know what you need to be able to be of service. And now here it's, okay, now if you have it, all those things, what are the other capabilities that you need that that are emerging, that help you be able to express your potential? And then as you go this way, through the path of regeneration, you're going even higher. And it's a moment to reevaluate your purpose. And it's called an evolutive purpose. And here the question is, okay, so taking into consideration this whole journey, how do we add value? What is the, and in a case of communication, what is the message, the really, truly, deeply transformative message that we're trying to convey in the project? So this is, we just wanted to do a really quick case study. I'll go quite briefly over this because I know we have a full session today. But this is after doing all the post-its and everything, this is the journey of Susqueda, which is a very small rural, well, not small, it's very, very large territory of not even 100 people who are split up into 4 small villages. And sorry. And so they were saying that their purpose was all around being engaged in natural and cultural regenerative processes, so that they can help regulate those really big differences. It's a territory with a dam. So they've had to already be regulating. They already have a role in the ecosystem of regulating, at least in terms of water systems. And so they saw themselves as this is their purpose of sharing their community, which is really rich and diverse and resilient, and also taking on a role of regeneration. And they say their singularity is really because they are so privileged, even though they're, you know, a small community, but they're privileged to live in such a beautiful place, you know, that could be a place where other people can learn about sustainability, resilience, etc. And that their mastery is about sharing that place in an educational way, in a poetic way, in a transformative way, to people who want to reconnect with nature, reconnect and better understand also the values that have led to this crisis that we're living now, and transform those values. And at the operations, what do they need? Meeting spaces, more digitization, more places of cross-pollination and sharing, to facilitate that. And that their potential here is to put into practice different technologies for regeneration. And when they revisited their purpose, it was quite interesting here because they actually saw themselves way more capable of, through empowerment, actually, of being able to be a reference in sustainability and regeneration, and that they were a lot more conscious of their purpose collectively as a community in this. And so this was a process that we did to help accompany Alba's work in creating a campaign. And I will pass it on to Alba, who took all this information and made something quite remarkable.
Cool. You keep sharing the screen? No, I share the screen.
Okay.
How is it?
Perfect.
Yeah, cool. So what we did, so that process that Erica already explained to us, it was something we created during kind of 4 meetings with different agents on the Susqueda's territory. And one of them, it was also led by Cesar, that you already know. So you can imagine how we obtained that information during meetings, during talks, creating dialogue between all these people living in Susqueda. And as a communication, as a communication team, we took all this information, but we also needed to know what happened a little bit before, because there's something remarkable here in Susqueda, that is a municipality that have a kind of a strong historical fact that it used to be a village where all the people live in the same space, but nowadays it's very disseminated because of during the Franco's dictatorship here in Spain. That place where they used to live, it was flooded and converted to a swamp. It says, swamp is the correct word. Yes. Marika, just tell me.
I actually don't know what word you're saying. I'm so sorry.
It was flooded.
In Catalan?
Inundat al pantà.
Oh, flooded. Sorry,
Flooded.
thank you. Yeah.
Yes, flooded. Sorry. So they have a very, all the people know Susqueda for that. So this is the reason I am telling this to you, because when thinking about communication campaign or a communication action, you need to know what is known by this. For example, in this case, why Susqueda is known by. And in this case, is because thing that have nothing to do with Susqueda's people. You understand me? It's not about its own identity. It's something imposed to them. So it was a very intense process. And what we wanted to do as a communication team, it was an exercise of participatory communication. So we wanted all the people to participate on the campaign, to create the campaign all together. Okay, so we have been with all the people. We meet, you can see at the picture, it wasn't COVID time. So we have the chance to meet all together and to do a full morning thinking. We said hackathon, thinking on what we want to communicate, what do we need to communicate after this work on the pentat that they already did. Okay, so that was a participatory exercise. It was super funny and very motivating. And we decided that this campaign will have 3 objectives. Because, you know, when you are designing a communication action, you need to have some objectives, like different things to achieve. And in this case, we decided, people there and also the communication team, we agreed that this campaign will give us the chance to explain to different rural areas what is Susqueda's identity, but also, as Erika said some minutes ago, to give a voice that it's not normally listened, the rural voice from the ones who are living in a remote area. So we wanted to create a campaign that can be shared with all these other municipalities, villages, or people who live in, people who can be just removed from Susqueda's words, okay? We also wanted to do this campaign because Susqueda is now living a depopulation, like a lot of rural areas. So they are living depopulation situation, but they also are facing the challenge of repopulation. You know, it is a challenge also. And they were very worried about people going to live there without knowing what they are, they are. You know, they always say, okay, we want more people here because we have a lot of empty houses, but these people coming here, they must know who we are and which is our land and what they can find here. So they were very worried about that. So we think that a campaign can give answer to these situations that they were living. And on that hackathon that we created the campaign, we listened different elements like the ones you have here. They said, Susqueda, it's earth, it's wild, it's silence, but also it's different rhythm of, not different, singular rhythm. So these are the singularities. It's an indomitable territory, like they say. People here are indomitable. You understand that word? It's same for you, the word indomitable? Like that canary on the video. Yes. Okay. So we took all these words. We also played with colors, with pictures, with concepts, and finally we found a slogan. Let's say slogan. That is this one here. What it means is Susqueda a ritmo de vida. It means something like Susqueda at the pace of life. Is it correct, Erika? Yes. So is that, and we created, this is an image that we created, and it was used for social media. Also, they produced posters and little cards. And there are more than one. We took different images. And we did also a video campaigns. There were 3 videos that maybe we can see just one, maybe.
Yeah, I think that'd be lovely. Yeah, if you can.
Oh, Alex just told me how to do it, and now I don't remember. Okay, I'm going to search for it. No worries.
And maybe just to give context, another big motivation around here was that there had been an assassination of a couple who was doing tourism there a few years ago. So another big motivation was that they wanted people to still come, even though it, that terrible thing had happened. So anyway, so it was kind of like really looking for, and also healing. There was a lot of healing around that had happened, and and healing around the fact that their main town had been flooded, is underwater right now, like the heart of their community. So really sorry, just to add that, Alba.
No, thank you. Yes, that's interesting to share. Okay.
Oh, we don't have the sound.
You cannot listen anything?
No, because when you share screen, you have to put that option.
Actually, no worries, because it's just say one word on that video. It's it says this. It says a kind of welcome to the territory. So yes, but let me do one thing.
El batec de la terra, el pas de la calma salvatge i el silenci indomable. Susqueda, a ritme de vida.
Yes, you may listen a little part of it. We tried with that communication video, and we did 3 more. We can share here. We tried to follow that rhythm, to share that landscape, and just to be a welcome, but in their way. So we tried to listen a lot what people from Susqueda wanted from us. And that was the main part of that campaign, just trying to listen and trying to put it into, in that case, into images and into a video to yep. Sorry, now. So it was like a little gift for the people from Susqueda to be able to share a little bit of its own identity, and to empower a little bit, because it's just a little tool, this campaign, but to empower and to make a little bit more, how to say, more community, because, until this project that we came to Susqueda, they just meet once per year, all the neighbors. It's kind of 100 people disseminated around. So this is just the campaign, but it has a lot of things inside. So that's what is maybe remarkable here in Susqueda. And we activated, that's just the last example, we activated the social net. So we activated the Instagram account, the Twitter account, and they already have the Facebook account. And as you can see on my screen, now they are using it for its own things. So that was kind of nice, what communication can do also for the community. So we will see. Now you have here a lot of things that you may don't understand, but they weren't before the communication campaign. And let's go back to our, whoops. So this is just an example of what you can do if you have that template, you have that information, and then you can just translate it into a campaign. if it's needed. Okay, this was our answer to all what we learned in Susqueda. So we can just go to, have anybody any question? That I cannot see you. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I don't know if in the chat there's any question. No? Okay. So we keep moving on. And now we are going to, yeah, I share screen again, no worries. Okay. So now we're here. It's '34 for all the ones who are on the mural. Yes. And we are going to see a publicity, a video. And I don't want to say anymore. Then we are going to work. We are going to see it all together, and we are going to work a little bit all together, and then we are starting the work in groups. Okay, but this first part, we are going to work all together. Just to do a step to the communication possibilities and how communication can just impulse the potential in our communities. Alex, I don't know if you want to share the video.
Yeah.
Vivimos en un mundo extraño, donde todos los días son iguales. Las calles han dejado de ser un lugar seguro y las fronteras permanecen cerradas. Hay un virus que nos afecta a todos, impidiendo que nos relacionemos de la misma manera, dejando a las personas sin derechos y haciendo que unas sean más que las otras. Una enfermedad que se propaga de manera muy rápida, provocando que el hecho de decir adiós no sea solo difícil, sino a menudo imposible. Esta pandemia mundial no es temporal, sino que nos afecta de manera crónica. Miles de personas trabajan para sostener el día a día. Pero no en igualdad de condiciones. Algunos virus no son injustos por naturaleza. Son decisiones políticas. Aquí, si no tienes papeles, no tienes derechos. Para que nadie quede atrás, nadie sin papeles.
Okay, everybody. Oh yeah, yeah. That's a campaign by Casa Nostra, Casa Vostra. It's an entity from here, from Catalonia, and yes, it's great. Thanks, Maya. So this campaign, you can imagine, it was published just a few months ago. I guess it was during 1 year ago. Yes, let's say 1 year ago. Why? Because of the quarantine. And we find the perfect time and the perfect place, social media, where to disseminate a message that it's okay, this campaign, this quarantine, the coronavirus, open as a possibility to emphasize, emphasizing with situations that until now seem to be impossible for different people here in the Western world, let's say, that, for example, not having a job, and unstable future, or going outside with the fear of being identified. So this campaign just had that leverage point. No, you already talked about the leverage point. So to be here in that moment with a real situation that all the world was living. So no, showing that this permanent this situation that all the world was living during the quarantine is a permanent situation for a lot of people here in our world. So, and the undocumented people. So that was the reason why to make that campaign. But what I just wanted you to, what I invite you to do now, and we can do it all together, is to see how we can deconstruct this campaign based on our iceberg. You already know the iceberg. And yes, you already know the iceberg, is it true? You are all silence.
Yeah, no, yeah, we did it with Carla.
Super. Yeah. So we are going to go down, and then we are going to go up the iceberg, just to see and invite you to just put all the words that you want to put here. It's now it's an open space. We're all together working on that iceberg, and let's try to see what the people making that campaign wanted for the campaign. Okay, that deconstruction. Let's pretend we are them. We are the creative team in Casa Nostra, Casa Vostra, and Top Manta people, and just start from the left, the section. Oh, I see a lot of people here. So funny that. Let's start going down. What do you think? I already talked about that. Is the context analysis that give us information to say, okay, we need to do that campaign to the people. What was happening in the world? We can start putting some. Okay, let's say here. Oops. You want me to keep sharing the screen? Or you are working on with your own?
Yeah, but where? Sorry,
yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Where are we now putting the posts?
Yes.
Like everywhere, or
no? We start with actions.
Okay, actions.
Yeah,
okay.
We go with actions on the left. Yes. What was happening on that context that bring us to do this campaign? If we are the team, the creative team, what is happening around us that makes us decide this? Isolation. Okay. Equality in movement. The lockdown that was we are talking, yes. Mm-hmm. You can, this campaign was in Spain, but you can imagine in your own place and just put your opinion here. Closed borders, yes. Pandemic unemployment. Mm-hmm. Oops. Okay, we have a clear.
If you do Control Z, whoever it was, it'll go right back, and we can lock it this time.
Let's. Mm-hmm. Okay, we can just maybe a step to behavior. What do you think the behavior was? Oops. This is because someone is locking it. Okay.
No, I wasn't fast enough. If whoever had moved it, if you do Control Z, it'll go back to where it was before. There we go. Awesome.
Yep.
I'll try and lock it faster this time. Oh, somebody did already.
Okay, I'm going back again. Yeah, someone just wrote down tapping into empathy by using COVID. Stressed healthcare system. So let's go to behavior, just to go deeper to the iceberg. What do you think about social, what is that? Yeah. Okay, socializing and work. Fear. Selfish. Yeah, I see now someone just wrote down invisible people with no rights. This word invisible is very important on the communication for social transformation, because one of the things that a communication have in its own hands is to give voice. Okay, so giving voice is one of the main things that we are going to see today. Xenophobic, I see also racism, individualism. So that's social behavior that we can detect on that campaign. So let's go. If you are still here, you can keep adding words, but let's go to the structure. What about the structure? Maybe the system. What's going on here about maybe the laws on that country or in the world. Weak structure. Colonization, I think, someone colonial, yes. If someone wants to explain something with words, with oral, just you're invited.
Yeah, can I?
Yes, sure.
Because it still touches me a lot. Well, I live in Italy, and during the COVID, some of my friends from Africa disappeared. I'm still not able to reach them through WhatsApp. I don't know what happened to them. And there was like a lot of, like at the beginning of COVID, here in Italy, there was also in news. They practically they packed them, like the asylum seekers, the one that were on the street, like in some like very like not human, like not places for the human beings, you know. And it was like exactly what you're also showing there, you know. They didn't have like, essentially nobody was paying attention. We still don't, to those invisible people, because like the COVID situation covered all this and everything else was more important, you know. So this is like, yeah, it's the system, how it's operating, how it's working, and suddenly also like us. Yeah. It's not important anyone else, more like us and social distancing. And of course, we were all locked inside. We didn't have like a chance to meet each other on the street like we did before. So.
Yes, and what do you think? Reciting this video, for example, now, and now that we are going to go up to the iceberg and just see how things can be done. If you are just, this video can awake you a little bit, no, not you as Mahas, you know, people who see it. And in that case, that we can create a little bit more of empathy in between people. How transformative can be this campaign. let's see what is in behind this campaign, and then at the end we will talk about how it can be more more impactant, or we will see what can cause. Okay, the strategy, you also put something. See the eyes, feel the feelings, trial and error.
So I have a question, Alba.
Mm-hmm.
Is the strategy of the video or the strategy of what exactly?
Here is a little bit more of context, sorry. But both are good, but the strategy of the video we will put on the other side, on the right side. Yes, here we are talking about the context. No, the structure is more that obsolete law, but here this strategy, we can talk about amnesty for everybody, or more real things that we have around us in that context.
Okay.
Or for example, what Maha already shared with us, that people just disappeared. No, we cannot know nothing about our friends in some countries. Mm-hmm. And for the ones who already are at the bottom of the iceberg, let's talk about that leverage points. What do you think that the creative team of the ad detected as leverage points? We already talked a little bit, no, this moment, crucial moment that people can emphasize, but maybe there are more leverage points here. Yes, that empathy. Yes.
And maybe just to mention here, Alba, with your permission.
For sure.
That the leverage points really don't exist even at the behavior level, but it does start to emerge at the structural level and get even more significant at the strategy. And then obviously at the bottom of the iceberg, it's tremendously significant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now I see already at least 3 here. Actually, you're doing a super great job. It's really exciting.
Yes.
Any thoughts? That's a good question.
More people spending time online. That's a good point on the channels that we are going to use for the campaign. Mm-hmm. Yes, and some, I'm going to the purpose again, to see their beloved ones, not only because the COVID, and this is the emphasis that campaign found singular here, the moment. Yes, that makes privilege aware that everyone can be in a crisis. That's the point. I don't know, Erica, but on that bottom of the iceberg, the purpose are just getting closer from the way we are going down, and then now we are going up. It flows.
Yeah, I think we're definitely ready to go up.
Cool.
Maybe with your permission, I'll highlight.
Yeah, perfect.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm getting excited. I'm sorry. No, this is excellent work. This is how people, like when you're working from how Alba approaches it. This is a campaign focused on social transformation and ecological transformation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the pentat is an excellent tool, especially if you're doing stories like narratives. But this is like looking for those leverage points. So you're talking about invisibility, and in this way, yeah, I would just highlight that. I think it was empathy, right? That that you spoke of, Alva, when you guys were doing this exercise.
Yes.
Yeah, and privilege is also, it was the whole concept of a little bit what Maya was mentioning.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that voice, so invisibility. So how can you bring a voice to those who are not visible in mainstream communications? Yeah.
And that, Erica, for me is the purpose for going up. It's that generating that dialogue based on emphasis. That's can just be the. No, so now that we are on the bottom, we can start going up. Let's say now, as Judith asked before, we are on that campaign. Okay, so what with that campaign can we just change something here?
Alba, can I ask you just one more question? Yeah, just about the context, because I've noticed like people on the field in the video and people working in agriculture. I don't know if this was also the case, if the context that make you do this video, this campaign was like same in Italy, because what happened here is like people from Romania are coming to do agriculture work during the summer in Italy and also in Spain. I know this. So when the borders were closed, this was not the case. So they couldn't cross the border, and like a lot of farms lost their like workers because Romanians were not allowed to cross the border. So what they did in Italy was that they decided, okay, we have people like in asylum, and let's do the work. They don't have work, they need to work, and they want to force somehow like people from that live in asylum, they're like immigrants, to do like the agriculture work, you know. But this was something awful. Why should they do it? You know, why force people to do some work? Maybe some of them are not even capable or whatever, you know. So was this also the case in Italy? Because in Spain, I mean, yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't have that information as you have for clear here. Maybe someone from Spain know, but for sure there were at the south of Spain that there are a lot of agriculture fields, and they need a lot of hand workers. And it's very clear and very near to the border with Africa. So for sure there happen very bad situations, very bad things during that period, of course. But I don't have the information about that special situation on making people work and going for migrants. But I guess it was the same thing.
Yeah, because they said, yeah, we can provide the documents for you, like now, you know, and all that time.
Yes. Yeah.
But only if they go to work to the like in agriculture.
Okay,
you know?
Okay. Yeah. I don't have that information, but I'm sure something like that could happen here in our place. Yes. Yes.
Alba, you have one question on the chat from Kevin. He's asking the difference between the left and the right of the iceberg.
Maybe Erica can help on that. Yes?
Yeah, sure. Exactly. So the left, you go down, it's the analysis. And when you're at the bottom, you're looking for that reconciliation, that leverage point, so that when you go up, you're building the campaign. So going up, we're saying, okay, so if this is the information that we're detecting, these are the magic buttons that we need to push when we're creating our campaign, our communication campaign. What does our campaign have to look like? What are the main elements that we have to have in that? And so it's going down, analysis, at the bottom, reconciliation, and going up, co-creation and strategy. And transformation, obviously.
So we can go up. So you already write down many things on purpose. So strategy, explain problems in the place. Yeah, I guess that strategy here, it was very clear, no? It's like the slogan of the campaign, that it's amnesty for all. So actually it was so that no one is left behind. No one left behind. That was the slogan, amnesty for all. And we as a creation team, creative team of that campaign, what is the structure we want to create? What is in what belief? Hopeful outcome. Let's think here also in our communities. What do we want to tell to our communities to be? More inclusive and accepting. Recognizing life of invisible people. Fair work, equality. Just going a little bit more up. What's the behavior we are leading as a catalysts and as a publishers also? Empathy, inclusiveness. Respect. Awareness. That's very important concept, and with communication we can work it a lot. Guarantee of rights. Collaboration. Cool. And then our iceberg goes up and we find what we see. So what we saw, it was a video, a campaign. That was the real thing that we saw. And in that case, we can be a little bit more critical. We can have an eye on the critics. And is there any way that this campaign could be more effective? If it's relevant, if we find it, there's something that we'll just forget. It says more connections to the actions in Spain. I don't know what more connections. I don't know if the one who's writing it just can explain a little bit. what can be done for help. So that one maybe means a call to action at the end of the video. Now I would love if someone just opened the microphone and...
I have questions again.
Perfect, perfect.
Now, because you're mentioning all the time the campaign. So if I understand correct, video is only one element of your campaign, or did you do anything else just like within this campaign?
Mm-hmm.
Because we only saw video, but
yeah,
like you, yeah.
I can contextualize a little bit more. That was a video shared on the social media. And when Casa Nostra, Casa Vostra, it works in Catalonia a lot with people who are known. So these people shared a lot of this video, and it was very well known, that campaign. And it came to help also the Amnesty for All Spanish campaign that was during this summer here in Spain. So that was a little piece of a bigger campaign. And it was that video on the social media and shared with all these well-known people here. But the main project was the video. While you are writing, I can show you that place. Yeah. So that's the Instagram account. It's the basic place where they do that. They share the campaigns. And this was the first publication, and it came with a lot of, these were talks. You know, I don't know if in your countries, but here during the quarantine, Instagram was very known and a lot of people were there. And lives on Instagram, you know what I am talking about. The lives, that direct connections were a lot of people did it. And for example, I don't know, this one, he is Lamin Sir, he's the voice, I don't know, portaveu, voice, spokesperson, sorry. From Top Manta, that is one of the entities working with Casa Nostra, Casa Vostra, and also they took part in that campaign that we saw. Talking with Itziar Ituño, she's an actress of La Casa de Papel, that is a very well-known series here. I don't know if you know, La Casa de Papel, it's translated...
Money Heist.
Money Heist, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
She's like one of the main protagonists. She's the inspectora.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this was, so you see a lot of views here, and the video was the start, the beginning of that campaign to make people visible. And you see here, Papers for All, these also, you see, it's an image, so it came, it's an image. So we have example, this is a talk, so it happened on June, Woman Without Papers, and it was women's just talking with Julia Bertrand. She's a journalist from here. So it came a lot. The video was the beginning.
Okay, great, because I already wanted to suggest like actions. We have something that is, I don't know, it's translated like open book or open library, when in times of no COVID, you were actually like sitting like in front, like there was like some special person and you could talk to them, like just changing like the seats. They were sending in front of you at the table, and you were having like 5 or 10 minutes to ask them questions. But then I remembered that this now it's not possible. So yeah, and then I saw that you actually did talks, and of course people were asking. Great.
Yes, and nowadays it's kind of essential on also on the social media, on the social net, where you can find a very good place where to share, because almost everybody can be sometime on Instagram. Not everybody for sure, but a lot of people can share things on social net. Works.
Absolutely, but it's also so important to hear it from the first person, to the one who is actually living it.
Yes.
And it's great because on social media it's interactive and people can actually ask,
I would love to share you, for the ones who understand Spanish, I'm sorry it's not translated, but there's one of the talks. It was the one between that we have a talk very, very touching, and that was the point where we as creators of that campaign said this one. I can just pass the link through the so he was a worker on the agriculture, talking with Paco Leon. He's an actor here in Spain, and saying he couldn't sustain the talk, so everybody in life just had the chance to listen in its own words what he is experiencing working, in that case in Lleida. It's agricultural area in Catalonia. So it was on the internet. It was live, yes. It was you were at home, but you listened, and something was transmitted here on that talk. And I really, if you understand Spanish, I really recommend it, because just with this little talk, very strong things happened. It was like an interview, but very, very common interview.
Alba, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I don't know if you want to do the breakout rooms, because
yes, let's go for it.
Running out of time a little bit. So.
The iceberg was perfect. And now we are going to, I don't know if you are, yes, to that part where we as creative teams spread out and in groups of 3 or 4 people, we are going to deconstruct these 3 publicities that we have here. And Alex is going to make the groups.
Yeah, I was thinking, Alba, maybe we could do one group for the Catalanat, one group for the Spanish chat, and 2 groups for the English chat, maybe, because we are 13 people. So, okay. People who understand Catalan can please raise their hands. Rita, Gerard, Paula, and Judith. Okay. Wait a second.
So you took the 3rd video, okay?
Rita.
And you can do the same as we did, the iceberg going down and going up in that little icebergs just down to the each video. Okay, yes.
Okay, 20 minutes, Alba?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. 20 minutes. Okay. Then people who understand Spanish and English, please can they raise their hands? Kevin, Maja, and sorry, Lola, and
I would prefer to go like in Spanish speaking group.
For sure. And the advertisement is in Spanish and English, so you will have no problems.
And so, and it would be the same 4 questions, right, that they have to answer? Okay.
Kevin.
I can copy those in the post-it if that's help, and as post-its in the other one.
Yeah, I help you, Erika, doing that too.
All right.
And okay. Okay. Anyone else? No. Okay. So we can do 2 breakout rooms for the people remaining. Okay.
And Alba, another question, is there a video link to the campaign?
I will broadcast to them
okay.
In the breakout rooms.
Okay, super.
Okay.
Alex?
Yeah.
Sorry, but I need another room because I thought that I needed to understand Castellano, but no Catalan. I don't understand Catalan.
Sorry. Okay. So
you can go to the first or to the second. Second is in Spanish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry.
How it was?
Mal.
Why?
Because we wanted to ask also this because we are so confused. I was already confused with the first one because I always understand these canvases, also iceberg model. Like we always have like for each, let's say level, we have like a framing question. So,
yes.
So I don't understand. We have on the right, on the left and on the right side, we have this twice purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's the difference and what would be the framing question for the purpose on the left and what would be the framing question for the purpose on the right? What's the difference and what are we looking for? What are we trying to answer?
Yes. For me today, so it's all about this framing on communication. But I guess that could be a very nice question for the general iceberg. I don't know, but I think you did it, the iceberg, just 2 sessions ago or 3 sessions ago. So you can ask, but in that session for today, let's say, the purpose on the left, so when you are going down, is about the context, why you are doing this campaign.
Okay.
But it's very melted when you are going up because it's the same, but you just transform it a little bit on now. Okay, now I'm doing this campaign. So it's, for me, it's on that space here today on communication creation, it's almost the same because it's that purpose that helps you to identify the leverage points, or it helps you identify why you are doing this, from where you are doing this. So you are at the bottom of the iceberg. So it's just that path. It's not that different on that.
Yeah, because I don't see any connection, because I always haven't had like the standard iceberg model, and we always have on the bottom, we have mental models. So yeah. And it's always like, you don't go like both sides, you go one side. Like, yeah, I mean, it's iceberg.
Yes.
And that's why I cannot relate purpose with mental model and then having like two sides and going up, and also like the framing. I think that we need, like, it would be easier for everyone to have like framing question at least, because for me right now it's so abstract. Okay. And I am abstract thinker. I know I have a lot of imagination, but like, but now I'm also lost, and I don't understand actually. Yeah.
Okay. On that example for the iceberg, I think we can just work a little bit, and to give you a correct answer, maybe via Slack or maybe via some for the other session, because if you I also read on the chat that there are doubts and you maybe can get lost on that exercise. So maybe we may need another just focus on that iceberg proposal. So I don't know, Alex, if we can just get it. But I really want to just go for the, if you are again on that mural, the last space, the 36 space. It's a mural. You will have a link here. You have a link that you can go inside if you want. Here it's full of questions, direct questions that you can answer to create your own campaign. Okay, so I think it will help you a lot. I hope it will help you a lot to put on words and put on action this this abstract thing that we did. So, are you in? You want me to share the screen to show you? Okay, I'll share. Alex, I need the permission to share.
Okay, Alba, you can share now. Yep.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, now I'm in another mural, and that's the homework I propose you to do. It's to answer all these questions that we have written down here in order. Okay. I know maybe almost all of you have your own mural. So what I ask you to do is to copy all that is here in this mural and paste it in your own mural. As like this, you can just keep working on your own campaign, because this is an individual homework. Yes?
Yeah, do you remember that I shared you a personal mural? If someone didn't receive it, please let me know. But I think that I share it to everyone.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
When did you share this personal mural?
I shared this on the Slack.
Ah, today, you mean, right? Was
no,
it today?
No. I shared it like 2 weeks ago. Maybe
Okay.
You know that one?
Yeah, because then I wasn't there, because then I understand why I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm probably gonna look it up. Thank you.
If you don't find me, let me know, okay? And I will share it to you.
Mm-hmm. So you will see here, it's just let me do it. A lot of you are already in. So it's about 5 questions. The last one is evaluation, so not for now. And it will guide you to do a campaign. Okay, so if you have a project or you have something in mind in your community, it will help you a lot to collectively do a campaign, create a campaign. Okay, questions are very easy. And what you will see here, maybe you have been somewhere, listened somewhere, the 5 W of communication, that it's who, where, when, what, etc. So what I'm proposing you here is to make a revision on that 5 question and just ask, for example, from where are we doing that? So from which purpose are we doing that? Yes, that is related to the iceberg. To who? That's a must question, to who I am talking to who I'm sending that message. With whom? That's an interesting question also, that makes us think with whom can we create, do we have allies to share that message I want to share? Okay, just take a moment for that. And when, if you remember the moment on that first ad that we saw, the moment was crucial, for example. So here, can we spend some time thinking on the best moment? And then another one that it's crucial also, skills and resources. What skills and resources do we have in our team, in our community, in our project? Okay, so if we wrote down all this, we'll have a big view on what can we do with a campaign. Yes, so all you need to do is copy all and paste it in your mural. Okay, so then, okay, here you can do the iceberg exercise. Yes, you can do this exercise for your own campaign if you want to. Then let's immerse in the creation process. Here 2 tips. So you will need to find the motto, or also a hashtag. Nowadays it's kind of important, the motto, slogan, or hashtag. And this is very important that you do it collectively with your team. If you are in a community, just try to meet with other people and talk about what represents us, what is our what we like or what we don't like from our identities. And also do the same with images, colors, and shapes. What represent us? Green is the color that represent us. Why? Yes, I like, I don't like. So this is kind of dialoguing and debating and creating spaces that I recommend to do it with your collective, if you have it. And then the 4th part is just to go for actions. So for example, we have a campaign that we want to share one new big construction building that we have in our place, and we want to open it to the community, to all the village come to see us, and we want to explain why we are doing that. And we want to explain the importance of doing that, and we want them to be part of that. So for example, we can create an action that is making a poster and put it in this poster to all the village. Or an action could be also to make a little campaign on Instagram and to make people talk about this event that we are going to create. So these are actions. So here I propose you to at least one action, design one action. There's a space for 3 actions, but you can create as many as you want. And just to make sure that you know why you are doing this action, which is the audience, which will be the channels, which materials I need, which are the tasks needed for doing that action, and to put it on a calendar, okay? When you have all these actions, all this list of actions, you go for it. You put it on the calendar. I love calendars and I really recommend it. To put all the actions in your calendar and start the creation process, the implementation process, sorry, okay? And then, as always, we need time to evaluate, and we can use the iceberg to evaluate it as we did it today, okay? This is a canvas, a very simple one that helps us to put all the things in order to create a campaign. But most important for me is that canvas help us not to lose the reason why and from we are communicating. Yes, because sometimes we get lost in, okay, I want to do a video and this video will be the very best video, but we don't know why we are doing, or we don't know the purpose shared on that video. So this canvas is always good to have it near if you are planning to do a communication campaign or communication plan for some weeks. It depends on you. So is there any question on that as homework? I miss it all. Okay.
Yeah, because he was disconnected, but
sorry, Ship. If you want, I can explain you when we finished, or you can listen to the video.
Yeah, I think I'm cool if you do it when everyone's gone. That's
okay,
easy.
I will. No worries. Any question? Yes, go for it, Laura.
Do you also maybe have it in another file? Because I cannot copy it for some reason. I don't know why, but
yeah.
if I copy it, it doesn't paste in my mural.
Yeah, no worries. How about if I put it on PDF and I'll send you, or Alex send it you via Slack or mail? Yes. Yeah. So PDF, you will receive a PDF and you can work with that. Perfect.
Alba, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Paula here. If I well understood, we are supposed to make this profound exercise with the community, with the iceberg tool, to identify the leverage points. And once we are there, we are supposed to use this pentad tool to find the potential of the community and use that for the communication strategy. Is that right?
That can be a way, that can be a path. At the beginning, we started with the pentad as a framing methodology that you can use. Doing these questions that Erica told you, you can find these answers, and you can use these answers for a communication campaign. But this process, you can use it for very different things. Maybe communication campaign is not the answer, you know. The communication campaign comes when you need it. So maybe if you are already on a project and you are thinking about communicating something, so you can apply this without passing through the pentad, or maybe you did the pentad some weeks ago. You know, it's today we present it as a good combination, but for sure it can work by themselves. But
if we are working on a community for the first time that we are there, we are doing this consultation work, we are supposed to use the iceberg to go to make this deep diving. And once we are there, and once we identify the leverage points, we could use this Penta tool to find and explore that potential, or we should use one instead of the other.
I would say not one instead of the other, because they can bring you to different places. But for sure, for me, the iceberg today was presented as a tool to deconstruct or construct a campaign. But the Pentat was a tool to have that story of place. You know, I don't think I don't want to put it in the same level, because one gives you information to work with, and the iceberg gives you a path to walk through. It makes sense for you?
Yes. Every class I need to hear the replay because there are a lot of things that I need.
Yes, I know.
Understand, but yes, it makes sense.
Yes, well, it's important. So now you have different tools, and I guess that these tools you can apply in your own way, also on your case. I mean, maybe this iceberg will help you to reproduce something in one day that you don't imagine. So having that path, it's important, I guess.
Thank you.
So if there are no more questions, maybe we can leave it here. Just, yeah, we have the opening where it says that homework, yes, the ones who need to leave, so you can leave. Bye-bye, thank you. I will stay here for sheep. And also Alex commented that maybe some of you will just have a moment here.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do it, but as I told you on Slack, if you want to stay here after the session to talk or something, wherever you want, you will have this space. So if you want, let me know. Because I have to make you host, because if I leave, the session closes.
Okay. I think maybe we can stop filming, because I'm going to repeat for sheep the, yes?